Thank you for visiting my channel, Off-Grid Living with the Bennetts. So, this is what I was doing in the summer. This is my water tote, 1,000-liter water tote. I've been getting the rainwater off the roof. It actually worked out perfect for me. The rainwater came down here, went through this, which is what I call my first flush. The water would then come down towards the bottom, and there was a ball in there, and the ball would rise, and that would get rid of my first few gallons of water that were sort of polluted off the roof. And then the clean water would come in here and go into my tote. It worked out perfectly. And then what I would do is I would pump the water out of the tote into the house, where I had another 1,000-liter tote. So what my plan was is that once winter time came, this tote would not work for me because the water would freeze. My plan was to take this tote, put it on the back of my trailer, and go and gather water from an artesian well. Now what I've been actually doing is taking these totes to gather my water. And the reason was because this tote, what happened was there was water in it and it started freezing on me because the tote inside the house was full. So what I did was I opened it up at the bottom, opened up this bottom valve to drain it, and it started to drain a little bit, but it couldn't finish draining because it was frozen inside. So now what I've got is I've got a tote here that's got a big giant block of ice in it, which means that I can't use this tote all winter. Right now it's +3 outside, and so I imagine it's melting a tiny bit. But if you look probably right about there, is where my ice is. Now I was concerned that it would freeze and crack the tote, so I did open up the drain, and like I say, it was dripping out last week, but I'm assuming that because of the size of the tote, and because that chunk of ice in there is solid, that I will not be using this tote at all this winter. And I kind of thought to myself, it would be a lot nicer to put that tote on my trailer than to have to take these 3 totes to go get water. But obviously, for the winter, it looks like those are the 3 totes I'm gonna have to use. And what I do with those 3 totes is I fill them up with water, and I get a garden hose, and I stick a garden hose through that hole, and then it goes inside the house, and it goes into my tote inside. I pump it inside the house. So in the summer, this is the perfect way to get my water. We had one rainstorm last summer, and in 24 hours I filled that tote full of water. And that was from basically just from that roof there and off that roof over there. So probably about a quarter of my house, quarter of my off-grid house, filled that tote after one rainfall. So obviously I can't do that in the wintertime. I'm looking at probably putting in a sand point somewhere over here. I attempted it before and didn't work, but there's a lake right there, so the water is not too far down. So I'm going to put a sand point right in here, and I'm going to get like a little shed, put a little shed over top of it, and I'm going to heat it. And then in the wintertime, I'll just pump the water from this sand point into the house. Probably what I'll end up doing is I'll have a hose, and what I'll do is I'll hook the hose up, pump the water in, then unhook the hose. And that's my plan for next summer, is to get that hooked up, all working. Until then, this is the alternative how I'm getting my water. It's working out fine. The water that I've been gathering has actually been really good water. I've tested it and it's like perfect. I still chlorinate it and I still run it through 4 filters and I still run it through a UV light, which is maybe overkill, but there could be some E. coli in there. So I want to make sure that it's safe for my family. So yeah, that's what we're doing. So anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you in the next video.